Atheism.
God damn, what an intro. First off, gotta love the pointless 4K. And it's like, after a zillion years of making these videos, he still hasn't learned dick all about basic presentation. What a shonk. And yeah, this is actually a pretty new vid by old mate Wild Bill for America, since usually I dive through his back catalogue to see what shit-encrusted nuggets of stupid he has lying around back there. But this, well, let's just say, very little about his awful takes has changed. And if it has, I can only assume that it's gotten worse.
The declaration that God does not exist is an act of pure evil that does no one any good.
Okay, first of all, you would think you might have been exposed to the concept that is extremely popular within atheist discourse today, basically, that no one really uses the philosophical definition of atheism to describe what atheists themselves do. They tend to use the non-belief in God or gods definition. Not a declaration, not a claim to the state of the universe, just I don't believe in that thing that you say. And second, what a ludicrous thing to say. Evil? I have said it time and again. I am not evil because of my atheism. If anything, that makes me do less f***ed up shit. No. I'm evil because I love the smell of a nice Hoo-Man smoothie in the morning. Delicious.
And it opens the door to every form of perversion, violence, and crime.
What? No, it doesn't. What are you talking about, Bill? First off, the idea that there aren't plenty, and I mean plenty, of dyed-in-the-wool, hardcore Christians who think God am the very real, book am do the true, and atheists are indeed evil, who do all the things they aren't supposed to do, even according to book, and a number of things that are absolutely fine according to book to boot, and opens up to crime. Do you know what that little word means? Crime, right, means it's a crime. It means that even if book, though, says it's fine, the crime part will stop some of the Crimsbians who are nut jobs from not doing it, probably. And it also stops the majority of everyone else as well. And the people who do crimes are gonna do crimes anyway. And that's not to mention the approximately 0.1% of US prison inmates describing themselves as atheist. It's also wildly wrong. Oh shit, hence the name. Wildly Wrong Bill for America. Now I get it.
If there is no God, no supreme judge of the universe, then anything man chooses to do to others is allowed.
Holy shit. Are you fucking kidding me, Mr. Bile Mill, for lies about American history? Wow. Imagine using a picture of a member of the fucking Ku Klux Klan as your representation of the quote-unquote evils that atheists will do. The Ku Klux Klan are literally a Christian organization, you fucking dumb asshole. It's hard to tell sometimes if you are just extremely, absurdly dishonest, or just so fucking stupid that you don't even know who or what these people were/are and what they represent. Dumbest take ever on this whole channel, and I am not using hyperbole. Actually, genuinely can't think of another thing dumber that has ever been said or inferred at me. Fuck. What a moron.
The greatest restraint on evil in the USA has always been...
Let me guess. The Bible, yeah? And it's not like in your country the Bible has consistently been used as a way to justify some of the most abhorrent evil that's been committed in human history. No, of course not. Only ever good things like love and daisies have fallen forth from the mouths of Christians following the Bible to a T. It's not like they can be some of the most hateful shitheads on the planet. You know, like Bill calling every atheist evil because they don't agree with him on his stupid fucking bullshit.
The universal teaching that God reigns in heaven above.
Universal. You think that literally everyone has been taught that? You know what? I think I'm leaning toward the idea that he's not lying at all. I think this man is so fucking sheltered that he has no idea that people exist outside of about a 4-mile radius from his house. Yeah, that bike there, purely for show, to make people think that he's basically John Bon Jovi. He's not a cowboy, doesn't know how to ride his bike. He's a dumbass. he's thick as shite.
And that he has set a day when every man who has ever lived will stand before him and give account for every word and deed in this life.
Oh no, Bill. I really hope you don't think that that's true, because I'm not sure it's gonna work out well when you just go, I'm an ignorant rube who never attempted to learn fucking anything. I just don't think that's gonna fly. Especially with this YouTube channel, you have had ample opportunity to learn where your mistakes lie. You just won't, because I don't think you really care to. Learning things, that's for them evil atheists and science guys and literally everyone who isn't me. Ignorance is my shield against facts.
And on that day, every man will receive either eternal rewards or eternal damnation for their deeds.
What an utterly ridiculous system. Even a game show knows you only give them a year's supply of things because they'll probably just get sick of them. Or if they're one of the really shitty ones, a year's supply assumes that you eat 2 a year. Wow, imagine if that's the kind of thing that eternal reward actually is. Yeah, you'll exist forever, but you only get access to the fun room 7 times for 20 minutes a pop. Better use your access wisely, or not at all, because it wouldn't make any difference in the long run. Oof.
The knowledge that Judgment Day is coming steered the USA into being one nation under God.
It kind of didn't. The fucking commies basically did that because they were a really big, scary threat and they wanted to differentiate themselves from them. And that's frankly a really pathetic reason to do anything, in my opinion. Really, they should change it to one nation under sick so we don't all get smoothied. I mean, a kid, but to be fair, it makes more sense either way because at least I'm fucking real.
Historians in the 18th century marveled that American culture was so strongly married to the Christian church.
So let's just ignore the fact that Bill says a lot of nonsensical, untrue shit. Assume that it is the case. Who the fuck gives a crap? Some ancient guys from forever ago said a thing about a place. Whoop-de fucking do, Basil. That doesn't mean that it's a good thing then or now. It doesn't mean they weren't idiots to believe so. It doesn't mean that they weren't just fucking wrong about what they thought. All it means is that, right, some people said a thing forever ago. Nobody cares.
Even the worst scoundrels in early America knew the 10 Commandments.
Did they? Are you sure about that? And again, so what if they did? The worst scoundrels knew the 10 Commandments, but they didn't think that they were that important, so they kept killing and stealing and talking back to their parents like some absolute chads. And sometimes they even said things that hurt God's feelings. What a really strange admission. My text is so ineffective that even when people know and believe it to be true, they just don't give that much of a shit. You really have not gotten better at this, have you, Billiam Wildson?
Because they were taught in every public school for over 230 years.
It's funny that stopping that and life getting significantly less shit for a lot of people seem to go hand in hand. I mean, as religiosity goes down, happiness often goes up. Now, I'm not going to do a correlation equals causation, but it sure as shit means that atheism does not seem to have this wild negative effect on people, unless you think happiness is a bad thing. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Bill always does come off as a bit of a miserable wanker.
But evil does not sleep.
You don't get sleep? You really should get that checked out, Bill. In fact, lack of sleep is closely associated with degradation in cognitive functions and even an effective lowering of IQ. So frankly, you must be one of the most evil, aka lacking of sleep people, in the history of ever. Damn, man, go take a nap. Looks like you need it.
Satan never stops working to destroy everything good that God has created.
So, I don't know if you know this, but I'm pretty sure your God is supposed to be all-powerful. That means there's literally nothing that isn't under his control, including Satan, at least if he wanted him to be. So either God isn't all-powerful, then who gives a shit about a God that isn't all that godlike, or he's choosing to let Satan do shit to quote-unquote undo his plans, which would be part of his plans. It's amazing to me how little sense the idea of any kind of opponent to the Abrahamic God would actually be. It's frankly incoherent. You know, I keep swinging back and forth on him lying or just being a moron. But that cough, that's the cough of a man who knows he's full of shit. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, he is saying nonsensical bullshit and at the very least wants you to believe it. So yeah.
Satan, working through godless men and women in the 1960s, managed to force the USA.
Oh God, here we go again. What did they do this time? And how do you even know it's through Satan? Whatever this terrible nonsense is, how do you know whatever changes aren't actually because your God just doesn't real and maybe doing things based on fairy tales is a bad idea? It'll never be that though, because no matter how untrue Bill's beliefs, he will continue to believe them anyway, you know, because of how smart he is.
To abandon its Christian heritage by taking prayer and the Bible out of schools.
No, I believe what they were doing was separating church and state, because that's the thing. They didn't take it out of schools, really. There are plenty of schools that even mandate prayer. And if you want to pray in a normal school, you can. You just do it by yourself. You know, kind of how you're supposed to. Personal relationship with Jesus Christ and all that. But what they actually stopped was forcing people to pray to made-up ismo in state schools, because that's actually kind of a up thing to do. And then of course you lot cry like the little babies that you are, screaming, they're taking away my right to force people to believe the same bullshit as me. And then everybody with a functioning brain cell laughs at just how ridiculous you sound.
And launching pornography, fornication, and drug use at every level of society.
Launching porn, sex, and drugs. I'm surprised they didn't launch, whatever the that's supposed to mean, rock and roll as well. I don't think they launched all. The laws and treatment of individuals doing certain things were often just seen as more damaging to individuals than the things themselves. So much of it has been regulated to a certain degree, except sex between consenting adults, because fuck you, Bill, stay the fuck out of my fucking bedroom, you weird perv. Only those I invite get to come, and then, you know, come. And I just don't have the space for more than 30 right now. Then, of course, there's the drugs, and frankly, most of them are still very fucking illegal. I don't know how one man can be so full of shit all the time. It's astonishing, really.
The Democrat Party gleefully adopted godlessness as the foundation for all of its political agendas.
Well, that's bollocks, since the overwhelming majority of Democrats identify as various religions. Congress itself is overwhelmingly religious, and in fact, the only US politician that I've ever even heard of being an admitted atheist in all the years of the USA being a thing was that guy Pete Stark, and I think he's dead now. So one, yeah, I'm sure they did everything he ever said for the sake of atheism, you absolute clown.
We now have a propaganda media that Adolf Hitler would be proud of.
Yeah, I know. That Fox News is a terrible fucking show, man.
Racism, manufactured by the Democrat Party, has poisoned every part of America.
Did you forget about the Christian thing you showed earlier? I mean, Democrat, Republican, whatever. You're just going with whatever party you think is the most Christian. And again, you brought it up. And these motherfuckers consider themselves super Christian. In fact, I bet some of them fucking love you. It's almost like you're some kind of a hypocrite.
And the rise of the rainbow flag shows that the USA has hit rock bottom.
Oh no, gays exist. It's always the worst thing ever for these guys. Man, life was so much better when those damned homos weren't allowed to be seen in public. That way I didn't have to hide my confused erection so much. Wait, I mean something about Jesus. Yeah, that's it. Seriously, it is amazing just how often people who are so anti-LGBT turn out to be secret gays. It's almost like projection is a hell of a drug.
Morally, ethically, and spiritually.
It's perfectly moral to be gay, it's perfectly ethical to be gay, and in terms of spirituality, it's the gayest one of all. You are complaining about rainbow flags. I'm pretty sure that's God's favourite thing, is it not? Even though it's just a big ring of reflected light. Also, it just occurred to me, doesn't the Bible say God invented rainbows after the whole Noah's flood thing? Would be really embarrassing if they existed before that, eh?
And because of rampant national sins, the USA is now experiencing the heavy hand of divine judgment.
Oh, off. That's always the one that comes out, isn't it? X thing is happening because God is mad at whoever. Except I'm pretty sure there's not like more volcanoes or earthquakes or most any natural phenomena that is usually a sign of God's wrath. The only ones that do seem to be changing a bit are weather patterns, but that's likely because of something that I would bet dollars to donuts Bill doesn't believe is real, aka climate change. I mean, climate change as a sin. Maybe if we could get the Crimsbobs to believe that, they would stop being so fucking obtuse about it. Although I'm not holding my breath. I'm saving that for when the atmosphere evaporates.
John Calvin said, when God wants to judge a nation, he gives them wicked rulers. And that is exactly where we are today.
Wait, so this isn't even because thunder and storms and hurricanes. This is because right now, for now, you have leaders that you don't like. That's God's wrath. That's fucking pathetic. Imagine that being the punishment for freaking anything. How weak is your God that he can't even make his punishment last for more than a few years at a time? And also that people get to choose it for some reason. And wait, that means that God made those people vote for the Democrats. I'm pretty sure that's election interference. I think God needs to go to jail.
Atheists, the enemies of God, have taken over every major institution.
Doubt, and if it is true, prove it. Also, we aren't the enemies of God, you hypersensitive butt plug masquerading as a man-new man. We just don't think he exists, and we're allowed to do that. But I think that is your real problem, isn't it? You absolutely hate it when things you don't like exist. That's the real problem, and that's the real affront to the things that you believe. People not agreeing with you. What an absolute wuss you are. No wonder you pretend to be a tough guy. But there's nothing there except for fear and impotent rage. Atheists aren't evil. You're just mad that not everyone agrees with you anymore. Get a grip, you absolute joke.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the